Okay, welcome back everyone. Zaf here on vacation, but still bringing you another solo rounds video. As you see right here, I'm going to cover stats with you because I do see so many players making this mistake right here, where on certain substats, they go overboard and they get hit with terrible diminishing returns. Basically, what that means is when you apply, let's say, too much to one stat, ignoring what caps you hit, we're talking crit damage, defense pen damage increase. Once you reach certain amounts, you do not, under any circumstance, want to add any more stats to that specific substat because you're going to get so much less value, and that is very important. You want to optimize your JINWOO, you want to optimize your Hunter, so I'll show you exactly what I mean, so you understand what stats to avoid when reaching certain stat amounts. But really quick, if you haven't yet, press that subscribe button. We're literally 79 subs away from 100,000 subs. My mind is blown. Thank you everyone. So press that button, and also a big shout out to Zoe and also a big shout out to Josh for being the first commenters on our two recent videos. Here are your shout outs, and enjoy your juicy Discord roles and enjoy the giveaways I have specifically for first commenters. Make sure you join our Discord server. We have over 27,000 members, otherwise you are missing out. Now let's jump back to JINWOO stats right here. As you can see, I have 109% critical damage, but what if I want to add more? Is that a good idea or not? In my opinion, that's a pretty bad idea, because if we go to my artifacts, let's say I'm going to swap in something here. Perfect. No crit damage on this artifact here. Let me swap in one that does have crit damage. Boom. 3,802 crit damage. I'm going to equip it, confirm, ignore any power decrease or increase. If I go to my stats right here, you can see from 3,800 crit damage, all we got is around, 10%. That's not a good value, because previously, if you look back, if I just take it off really quick, I picked the right day to do this because we do have the artifact event, so I can equip, no cost applied. Before we had, what was the amount? Around 12,000. So adding about, let's say, 25% of that stat netted us only a 10% difference in the damage. So that's why I want to warn you, do not go past certain amounts. Basically, with crit damage, when you're around the 190% mark, you're going to hit that territory of diminishing returns. I think 200% is where we really do hit it. So if I go back right here to my artifacts, and I switch on something of crit damage, but way less, let's do this. 2,000 crit damage compared to 3,800, so around half the value. Equip, go back here, go to my stats. As you can see, with half the stat amount, we gained around 7%, but if I were to add double of the stat, I would only gain around 4% now. So you saw there, from 7% to 4%. We're not getting the same one-to-one value, so be very careful about that. Do not go too far for crit damage, especially because the reason why I make this video is because of our cores. We get so much crit damage on these. That's why I honestly recommend going a mix of either crit damage or damage increase. Damage increase is a way to go. Defense pen is not the stat you want. I'm just using it because that's the only core I had on me. You want to go damage increase. That's the ideal stat, but same thing, damage increase. If I go back to JINWOO, we can look at his damage increase stat again. With damage increase and defense pen, you do not want to go over the 20% mark for these. Otherwise, same scenario, you're going to be hit with those awful diminishing returns, which is not ideal. So be very careful of that. I'll show you here. Let's swap in an artifact with a lot of damage increase. Let me just go to my stats right around here. Sub effects, let's click damage increase, confirm, and let's pick one of a juicy amount. None there, none there. Actually, we don't have too many. That's okay. Let me just take off this requirement here. And now we can find something with a lot of damage increase, I'm hoping. Boom, here we go. We have 3,424 damage increase. Equip, confirm. We had around 23% to the increased stat. If I go here, we gained around 3%, so not too bad. But you have to remember, we just applied so much damage increase, but we only got so much applied to the stat, so be careful. You always have to think about value, otherwise you're losing out on so many potential stats. Let me do it again. On this right here, let's pick another one with a ton of damage increase. Boom, 3,000, equip, confirm, confirm again. Go to our stats. You can now see our damage increase stat barely moved, again 3% for a 3,000 value increase. That's over 10% in the stat itself, but that only translated to a 3% amount. let me actually unequip all my artifacts. That way you can see the stat amounts for yourself. So if all my artifacts taken off, if I go to my stat right here, I have 2,884 damage increase, which translates to 5.45%. Now, that's when I talk about value. So I did want to make that apparent to you. Diminishing returns is a real thing, and it's substantial. It will heavily affect what stats you get, how much of a damage increase it will apply to your overall JINWOO stats, your hunter stats, etc. So be very careful on that. Defense increase too, let me just show you so you can understand. Let's pop in some defense increase artifacts right here. I'm hoping I have some juicy ones, not too much for damage increase, unfortunately. Let's see. Okay, I can take this one, 3,000. So 3,039. We had 5% previously. Go to the stat. Boom, boom, boom. And now we have 9.69%. A huge difference from before. So in this case, around a 5,400 amount, translated to around 10%. Let me actually add in another 5,000 so we can see how much we get now. I'm actually kind of curious myself. So here we have 2,000 equip. Let's go here. Let's do another 2,000. So we need around 1,000 more. And let's see if I can find that really quick. Beautiful, 1,000. So I added around 5,000 to the stat. Do I gain 10%? No, I do not. This time, 7%. So I think I did outline correctly that you do get diminishing returns when it comes to your stats. So crit damage, defense increase. So I'm hoping that did highlight for you what stats to be very careful about. Crit damage 190% to 200. Defense penetration and damage increase around the 20% mark. That's when you really see a drop when it comes to how much percentages you gain from the stat amounts you put in. So be very, very careful. This applies to your hunters. This applies to JINWOO. So make sure you use the correct cores. You're leveling up the correct ones. Enhancements are not cheap for cores. So if you already have 200% crit damage and then you pick a core out that has crit damage on top, you're not going to get any benefit from the stat. You're better off going damage increase or even defense pen, but I think overall, damage increase is the best stat right now when it comes to the secondary stat for JINWOO, for example, to go on. That's just my opinion, of course. Do your research, see what's best, but damage increase is coming out ahead for me based on what I've seen. So I'm going to focus my cores on things that do have damage increase, but if you're anything like me, I haven't had too much when it comes to my cores, and finding any of damage increase, it's been a very tough time. As you can see here, I have one legendary core with damage increase. It has not been a good time. At least here I'm getting, slightly better results, but not too many. Same thing here. I have no attack percentage damage increase. Oh, I do actually. I just got these. I forgot. Beautiful. So I can upgrade these and put them on JINWOO in preparation for the new update, but I would prefer this to be a JINWOO core. That way I can get that 5% bonus on him instead, but beggars can't be choosers. I just gotta work with what I get. Hopefully, something better in the future, but yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, just covering what stat mistakes to avoid. 3 very important ones. Be very, very cautious what you do with crit damage, defense pen, damage increase, otherwise your stats are going to be very inefficient, losing out on a ton of damage. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Be sure to drop your like, subscribe, and do stay tuned for more content like this. This was your Code King Zaf, signing out.